What's up, guys? I am pretty excited today because we are going to be doing some work on the Jeep. I've got a 2009 Jeep JK Wrangler Unlimited, and we're going to be doing some upgrades. All right, guys, so here is my JK. It's a 2009, as I said. It is the four-door style. So first thing I wanted to do when I got this thing was get rid of that faded plastic, nasty, black, cheap-looking hardware that's on this thing. Started with the bumpers. Got a Fab 4 front bumper, made in the USA. I believe North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I replaced the hood latches with some metal ones, probably made in China. And I wanted to get rid of these nasty door handles, all right? Now, the push button, to me, is not that big a deal, and not the main reason I want to get rid of these, all right? Very simple, push it in. It does get a little tough sometimes, especially when you got your hands full, but it's not that big a deal. It was a bigger deal to my 9-year-old daughter, who was always saying, "Daddy, these are so hard. Daddy, can you help me with these?" So initially, I was just going to replace these with some cool metal door handles, but I spent a little bit more money and got the JL style. Look, one finger, guys. Look at that. Oh, it's so simple, and they're super nice. I am hoping that this plastic holds up better than that stuff, and we don't have a lot of fading here. Sorry, I'm a horrible camera guy. I need to get a camera person. But I am hoping these hold up better and don't fade on me. But they are super nice, and they're pretty easy to install. So really excited about that. I've already replaced every handle on the door except for this one. I've saved this one just for you. All right, guys, so I did pick up these handles on Amazon, and I would love to be able to get American-made door handles for this thing, but as far as I know, these are the only JL style handles that are being made for the JKs. But these did come packaged very nicely. Nice box, very solid, no damage, lots of foam. Came with the instructions, which leave a little be desired. Foam on the top. Now, like I said, I have replaced 4 out of the 5 of these handles already on this car. So you will see the old handles are in the box. But the new handles came just like this, very nice, packaged in here, very tight, very clean, look very nice coming out. So we are going to put this last handle on together. All right, like I said, this is a very simple install. All right, really doesn't take a whole lot. All right, I'm going to put it pretty easy on the difficulty scale, okay? It's basically, after you take the door panel off, which is very simple, there are 2 nuts to take off the back of the handle, and then you put the nuts back on. It's very simple. First, we got to get this door panel off. You've got 2 Phillips head screws in the door handle, and you've got 2 the bottom around this pocket. So you've got 1 under here and then 1 on the front side. All right, so I'm going to take those out and show you the next step. Having removed the screws from those 4 spots, next thing we're going to do is we're just going to pry the door panel off. There are, I believe, 6. We'll look in just a second. What do they call them? The Christmas tree things are on the backside. You just have to pull out carefully. All right, so I'm going to use a trim tool, get back under there, and just pop that out. Okay, you do not need to take the screw out of the latch here. On this style, on the 09, I think it's the pre-2010, I think is when they switched over, 2011, something like that. The panel, I figure out, words are hard. The panel here goes around that latch, okay? So it's over that. That will not move, okay? You'll pull it out over that. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull it out, get off those, and then you'll actually have to kind of pull it out and up off the window molding there. So here we are with the door panel off. So all of these black and white places that's where the pins go in. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3. All right, we've got 4, 5, and 6. All right, so there's 6 on the front doors. All right, and then pulling the door handle off, all I did was pull it out about a 45-degree angle and then kind of rocked it back and forth, pulling up to get it off of the window trim, okay? Very simple, just take your time, be careful, but it's not a big deal. So behind this grommet here is one of the bolts for the back side of the handle, okay? Like I said, you are gonna have to drill a hole in this, okay? Now, you do have the option, okay? There are 8 screws that hold this panel on. You're gonna have to disconnect if you've got power window, disconnect your power window motor, and probably take off your latch handle there. You're gonna have to worry about these 2 wires that go to that for the lock and for the latch. You're gonna have to worry about your wiring in here. That's all down here. Your wiring for your power windows and all that, okay? The instructions for these actually say to drill a hole. Not a big deal. This is not any kind of structural piece, all right? You will never see this except when you take the door panel off like this, and I have drilled a hole in all of these, all right? It's not a big deal. The hole you're going to drill is going to be right about here, okay? Right in where this bend is, okay? It's going to be right about there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and drill that hole, and we'll go from there. So I did drill the first hole. I did drill a little low, okay? So I did have to drill a second hole. But if you look in there, let's see if we can, there's the bolt we need to get to, okay? Now, the second hardest thing about this is you do not want to drop, so I apologize. I keep calling it a bolt. It's not. It's a nut. Okay. It is a flange nut on the back side of the bolt. The bolt is built into the handle. It is an 8mm. Okay. You do need a deep socket to get to this, or at least I did. My regular shallow sockets did not want to get on it, all right? And you do not want to drop it inside the door, or you will be taking off this entire panel, and then you just drilled a hole for no reason. I did give thought to going ahead and remove this panel, but it just seemed like it wasn't worth it. Now, little tip. I actually dropped a couple of these. So I ran up to the hardware store, and I replaced them. They replaced well. Let's see if I can get this to, I got nylon lock nuts, M5 by 0.8mm, okay? Those replaced these flange nuts very well. And I got the nylon because I knew they wouldn't vibrate off, okay? Now, these don't have any lock nuts on them, don't have any nylon at this point, so having any issues with them vibrating off, but hey, better safe than sorry. We got to replace them, might as well do it. So what you need to do is reach up in here, okay? A little more elbow grease. All right, just back that off. Very simple, okay? I've just got a screwdriver handle on an 8mm deep socket, basically making a nut driver, okay? And I got on there, back that off very easy. The next thing, you have to pull that out very, very carefully, steady hand, pull it through here just like the Jeep version of Operation or something. Just do not touch the sides. You will drop that nut and it will be in the bottom of the door. All we need is one more thing rattling around on an old Jeep. And then you will be going up to the hardware store like I did, getting some nylon nuts to replace it. So I've only got one left. I got a 4-pack, and I've only got one left. So yeah, I'm going to do my best not to drop these. It seems like I've had more success getting to this one. Maybe the hole's a little bigger than I'm drilling here. I don't know, but getting the front one out without dropping it than the back one. But I'm going to do my best on this one to get them both out without any issue. Winter chicken dinner. I got her off there and kept the bolts. The biggest key is just take your time pulling those out of there. So I've got it in there. I mean, it's really just taking your time getting them out. All right. I'm going to take a second right now, because how often are you going to have to able to get in there? I'm going to clean this up. Just give it a wipe down, just some general cleaner, and wipe that area up. All right, so I got that cleaned up, and it looks absolutely ridiculous because the Jeep is covered in road film and slush and salt and all that stuff because it's winter in Ohio, and that's just how it is. Now, the next thing you have to do here is the back side of the old handle and the new handle. Now you can see on the old handle, let me get better light here. There is this mechanism on the back, okay? So I'm gonna lay this up here on the hood. So you've got this piece here, and then there's a spring underneath, okay? So that basically pushes this back out, okay? So when you push the button, it pushes that post out, which unlatches the door, all right? This piece and the spring do not come with the new handles, so you need to remove this, all right? Those are, so you can see it's not there, but there are holes in there pre-drilled. Now those are Torx bit, okay? I don't know what size it is, but it's small, all right? Let's go with that. It's a size small Torx bit. Let me see if I can, let me pull this out and see if I can get a look at it. Sorry guys, I have old eyes too. That looks like a T10 to me. All right, hopefully that's right. But it is small either way. So you're gonna remove these 2 screws, okay, here and here, and then carefully pull this off and just put it on the new one. All right guys, so here's the new handle, and here's the piece I need to place. You've got this, I guess it's actually just a plastic piece here, okay, and then you've got your spring. So those go on, those go on here and just slides down on there, okay? So your post is gonna come out through that hole again, all right? And you just put the screws in, so it is, all of them were running horizontal to the door handle. Now, I guess you potentially could put it on this way if you just felt like being a rebel, I don't know. I don't see them make any difference, but it did come off that direction. Now, the only reason I can figure that this has 4 possible holes in it is because the back door actually has 3 bolts it needs, okay? So that's probably why that's happening, why you've got 4 of them. I'm not sure, but it did come off in this direction, so we're gonna put it back on that direction. All right, so there it is, very simple, okay? I really haven't had any issues replacing these. The screws going in very simply, except on one handle, one of these screws was pretty rusted and actually snapped off. I had to go digging through my old bin of screws and find one to go back in there, but it works fine, not a big deal. But yeah, it goes back together pretty simple. So we're gonna put her back in place. All right guys, before I do that, let me show you how this, so the pulling motion of this actually pushes down where the button, I guess there's actually a button down there, okay? So you have a pivot point, so the pulling motion actually pushes that button, makes the same motion pushing that post out. So that's how that works. Love it, very simple. Like I said, hopefully this finish holds up. You do have some tape on the back, so as we go to install this, I'm going to peel this off here, all right, and get it stuck to the inside of the door. That is one other really cool feature on these, is if you've got that protection, because a lot of times this area gets pretty scratched up from if you're a person that has rings, or I don't know, you have your keys in your hand when you reach in there, I don't know. Different ways that get scratched up. So these actually come with a little protection in there. All right, so we're gonna peel the backside of this double stick tape off and put that in place as we slide the handle back in. So you've got the two posts here for the nuts to go back on. New handle is in place. Now we just have to bolt it down. So we're gonna come around on the backside here. All right, I've got my two nuts and my plug here in place, and you can see, let's see if I can get a good look at it. Hey guys, sorry about that. I lost some footage there putting this door back together, but it's pretty simple. Once you put the bolts, I can't stop calling them bolts. Once you put the nuts back on the back of the bolts on the back of the handle there, like I said, one behind this grommet here and the other one behind the door cover. Once you put those on, double check the operation of the door and then put your door cover back on. Again, you need to slide it over the top there and then push it into place and put those 4 screws back in. Okay, it's a super simple job. Now I'm going to show you a couple differences on the back doors and then the rear tailgate door. Here's the inside of the back door. This is driver's side back door. Just to show you the difference, so everywhere you see these black and white stars, those are the points where the door skin connects. All right, so there are no screws on the back door, so just get in there with a tool and just carefully pop that out and you're in good shape. All right, you can see I've already drilled the hole here. That's pretty much, honestly, that's pretty much perfect placement. All right, so if you can orientate yourself, I don't know. You know what I mean. Right off the hole where these wires go, just be very careful drilling in there not to catch those wires. All right, and you do have the metal from the door, it goes right in here, okay? So you want to be right up against that. That hole was actually, I hit that the first time. That was very, very good. Most of the other ones I kind of had to feel around, so if you can get that in your head where that placement is, that is perfect for that bolt. Misspoke on the back door, little correction here. There are 2 screws at the handle. There are no screws at the bottom. So it is just stays along the door and then these 2 screws in the handle. I guess on the back door it's a little different, so let me show you what's going on there. So you've got 2 access holes here with 2 plugs. All right, the top one unfortunately is blocked. You cannot, once you pull that plug off, the mechanism for opening the door is actually behind there and you cannot get to that bolt. So great idea putting an access hole there, Jeep, but way to cover it up. Nice job. So the bottom one, you can actually get to the bottom bolt. You do need a long extension because that bolt's kind of, the hole is kind of small. So you probably want a long extension to do that one. It's the same bolts, it's the same mounting configuration, so all that's good. But you want to access through this vent cover here, okay? Here's what the vent cover looks like. Now, little tip, what I didn't know. So on here, when you look at this, there are these, we'll call them stays. They just slip in behind here, all right, and hold this in place, okay? And then you got 2 clips on the other end that go in here and there, okay? So, but these stays, because of the way they're made, they actually look like the point where you pry it off, but don't, because you'll do what I did and break off one of your tabs there. All right, fortunately there's 2 other tabs, so I don't have any. This is a pretty light piece of plastic. I'm not worried about it too much, but don't do what I did. All right, pop it off from the other side, pop it off from the long side, top corner and bottom corner, and that'll come out pretty easy. All right, on the inside, try to get a good look. So you got your bottom bolt there, okay, and then your top bolt. I get a good look up here. All right, top bolt is up here. Try to get a good view here on the back side. So you will have to connect this mechanism to the back of your new handles. All right, it's not hard. That red clip, you just pivot that off there, off the shaft, pivot it off the shaft there, and then you can pull that out of the mechanism. Then it's the same as the other doors. You just swap out the mechanism on the back. This one has 3 screws on the back instead of the 2, and then put it back together. It's actually really simple. To get to that top bolt, I do recommend a ratcheting wrench if you've got one. If not, a regular end wrench will do. You can't get a socket in between the mechanism and that bolt, so you'll need an end wrench on that. A ratcheting one will make it a little bit easier. I do recommend a ratcheting wrench. One's either offset or has a flex head, so you can get back there pretty easy with one of those, but getting a socket in between that mechanism is not easy. All right, guys, since I need to film that little clip there that got lost, I figured I'd throw in this update as well. So it's now been somewhere around 6 months or so since I put these door handles on, and honestly, guys, I absolutely love these things. It's made it so much easier in and out of the car, and for my daughter, she hasn't complained a bit getting in and out and everything. So really love these. The finish is holding up well. They're very solid, and yeah, just really couldn't be happier, honestly. They're so much cleaner, nicer, smoother, better finish than the OEM door handles. So if you're thinking about that option, think about changing out your handles on your JK, I do recommend these. I will try to throw a link down in the description to Amazon where I picked those up. Not affiliate, doesn't benefit me at all, but just hopefully help you out if you're looking for those. If you're going through this process installing these and if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a question and I'll respond as quick as I can. All right, thank you. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. Hopefully it helped somebody out. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all of that. And don't forget to check us out at project1511.org and on Facebook. We got some more videos coming here soon, so hit that notification button as well. Thanks for the support. God bless.